What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my quick review of the Bayang Toys X16 Typhoon is what they're calling it. And this is it right here. It's a brushless quadcopter, one of those toy grade hybrids. There's actually three of them now. There's the JJRC X1 and there's the XK X251. And I must say that this one here I like better than the other two. I think this is the best one yet, and here's why. This thing flies really nice. I like the way it flies over the other ones. The JJRC X1 might have a little slightly better flight characteristics, and being a yaw rate is a little faster, but then there's that yaw issue that they have, and the transmitter is really bad on the X1 in my opinion. The X1 has a bad transmitter. This one and the XK X251, they have proprietary props. In other words, other props don't fit on them. It looks as if it's the standard prop post there, but they have another little piece down in there that stops you from putting normal props on there. I tried to put three-bladed props on here and couldn't get them to fit because of that little notch that's down there, similar to the notch that's on the X251 by XK. But why I'm saying that this thing is better, this is like the combination of the two. This one is a lot more powerful than the XK X251. It's actually a little more powerful than the X1 as well. The motors are a little larger, and it flies really nimble. Well, with a Devo, you can fly this thing pretty nimble. Now with the stock transmitter, it's still powerful and all, but the pitch just isn't as deep. The same quickness on the yaw, so you can change directions pretty fast with it and all, but you just can't fly too fast with it in its stock form because the pitch isn't very deep, but it's deep enough for you to get the thing going, and it's really stable. It flies really nice. But one of the main things that I like over the other ones that I think it was like the icing on the cake for me with this one. Let me show you guys this. You can actually unscrew the screws. There's 4 screws here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there's 2 on each arm, outer arm there. Here, just to show you guys real quick that this quadcopter, if you remove these screws here, you can actually remove the middle panel of the quadcopter to access the inside to make repairs. And I just think that's really awesome. The X251 is a pain to repair. That thing is super hard to repair. You have to get the motor wires threaded through the booms, the carbon fiber tubes on it, down the arms, and get it soldered in and all. And it's just really a pain to try to do that if you get one of the motors go out or anything on you. Check it out. You can just pop this top canopy off here and you have access to everything in here. And look at this. This is the only one that has separate ESCs, and these ESCs hook up the same way that the hobby grade ESCs do. The motors have 3 wires that are soldered here, and you swap any 2 to switch the direction of the motor spin. And it has the hot and cold wires here going here, and it even has these here that plugs into the flight controller. So I'm guessing you can probably swap out these. You can put this on a carbon fiber frame and have a really nice hybrid grade quadcopter. I think it looks, I don't see why not. These look like the standard plugs here, as you can see. Let me bring it a little closer so you can see that. So, you know, it's made a little better. It doesn't have the 4-in-1 board where if one ESC blows, then you'll have to buy the whole board and all of that crap. You can actually upgrade this thing and put some better ESCs in here probably, I'm thinking. I don't see why not. But one of the negatives though I had with it is that the the battery connector was this banana plug here, and I don't like those. So I just went ahead and modded it with the XT60 connection there. Let me show you guys that. So it has an XT60 connector on there. And also, this is the only one out of the three that is 3S. This runs off of 3S, so more power. This thing is just better, in my opinion. That's just enough there for me to say that it's better. And repairs, everything is modular on here. Very easy to make repairs. Even the lights have micro sockets there, connections to plug them in and out. You can even swap the lights if you like, because the red lights are in the front on this model, and the green lights in the rear can be swapped, and you can just plug them, unplug them, and plug them in the spot that you want them. And on top of that, this thing is very durable. I crashed this thing so hard, man. I was doing a flip. I was doing the manual flips where you trick the accelerometer by cutting throttle when you fly forward and then pull back. And it was slow on recovering, and I cut the throttle thinking that I was flying it straight into the ground, but it actually did turn over. And I think if I would have kept the throttle up high, it would have probably recovered and not hit the ground. But I cut the throttle while it was flying down, and it tried to turn over, but it hit the ground hard, and no damage, guys. Just about no damage. And this thing hit hard. If you can go back and see that night flight that I had, this is the only thing that happened. There's a little tiny crack here, but once you put the screws and all in, you don't even see that. And as you can see, I did mod the landing gear. These are the landing legs that came on it pre-installed, and I just think they're a little too bouncy. That's one of the negatives, but easily fixable. This thing has enough power to lift the GoPro or whatnot, and I hear that the Cyma X8 does have a GoPro mount, or a camera mount that can hold a GoPro, and it's the same connection as this, and same plug and everything. So you should be able to use whatever mount that is that holds a camera for the Cyma X8. You can use on this, because you can use the Cyma X8's camera on this. It's the same camera. I'm starting to think that maybe Cyma is making things for other companies like this. I think this might be made by Cyma or something. It's so similar. When I pulled it out the box, I thought it was a Cyma. And anyhow, back to this. In the instructions manual says that this has a 360 flip, meaning that you should be able to flip it, but this does not flip. It does not have a one button flip. This right here is a flip button, because this is on a classic Bayang Toys protocol, and I did fly my Bayang Toys X9 with this transmitter. And so all the buttons on here actually do work and do different things, just not for this model here. Because I was able to activate the headless mode and all of that stuff and do flips with this button here with it, and it just doesn't work for this quad. So I'm thinking they probably had an idea to implement it at first, but then they thought about it and changed their mind at the last minute and removed that function. But this is a real button here, but the quad just doesn't flip. There is headless mode in here. The headless mode works pretty good. It has one key return. I demonstrated in one of my videos. I think the maiden flight, the first flight video, I demonstrated the yaw rate and all. And the one key return in the headless mode, it works well. Better than most of the toy quads. Headless mode works. And it's just a really nice flying quadcopter. And you can calibrate the accelerometers by going both sticks to the lower right, and you can recalibrate the compass by going both sticks to the lower left. But you can also do it the the hobby grade way, where you do the spin dance with the quadcopter this way and then holding it that way. You can hold the right stick to the upper left and the left stick to the lower right, and it'll start flashing, and then you do that little spin dance with it, both axis right there, and it'll calibrate the compass as well. But the easy, quicker way to do it is just to hold both sticks to the lower left. And this transmitter here, let's go to the transmitter. The transmitter takes way too many batteries, in my opinion. It takes 6 batteries. I really think that they should stop making us have to put 6 batteries in these toy grade transmitters, because the ones with 4 and 2 batteries work just as well, it seems. But anyhow, it's nice for a toy grade transmitter, but really not hobby grade. The gimbals on it don't have the same resolution as the, say, like the X251 or anything like that, but it's definitely better than the JJRC X1. But you do have to do an arming sequence to arm the motors. You bring both sticks to the outer lower corners, and that arms and stops the motors. And you guys probably know by now, and if you watch my videos, this thing is deviation compatible. I've been flying it with the Devo 10. Love this thing with the Devo 10. If you have a Devo 10, this thing is a must, as I would recommend this over the X251 and the X1. If you have a Devo, definitely I would recommend this thing. It's cheaper than all 3, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And this thing, I think it's a better deal. And yeah, so it comes with an instructions manual here in legible English. Pretty decent instructions manual. And it comes with a little balance charger here, 3S. I did mention that this is a 3S quad too. It does not run on 2S. I've plugged in a 2S battery and it doesn't even start up. It won't let you arm the motors. It actually flashes as if LVC is on. Oh, it has a pretty decent LVC warning as well. You can see I did the landing gear mod on it. I think that eliminates the bounciness when you're landing it. And oh, the motors here, my motors are red. The motors on the box are silver. But this does say upgraded version. I've heard that maybe pink motors, or maybe they're talking about these red motors that I have. They said the old version is supposed to have pink motors or whatnot, but mine's have these red motors. Maybe these are what they were talking about, is the pink. I don't know, but my motors definitely are not the silver ones on there, but my box still says upgraded version. I've had no problems with this. This thing flies so smooth, a lot of power. Flying it with the Devo, it has a lot of pitch, but flying it with this, it has moderate pitch, but it's okay to get around. If you're going to use this for a camera bird, I would recommend getting the Cyma X8 attachments, whatever camera mount that they have. I would try that, or maybe do Quadcopter 101's credit card mount. I mounted a Mobius action camera up here on top, and I have the footage out on that, and it had a little bit of jello, but not bad, I would say. This thing is pretty stable in flight. I think it probably would work better if I had it on the bottom, but I had it mounted on the top, which seems like it's not the best position to have it. And that's about all there is to say about this thing. It comes with an extra set of spare props here, and this was my charging plug here. So you do need the American adapter there if you're in the US with it. They sent me this one, and this was courtesy of Banggood. Let me give you guys some size comparisons real quick. Let's check it out with the JJRC X1. You can see this thing is a lot larger than the X1. The X1 is small compared to this thing. Check it out. My X1 looks weird now. And another thing for comparison, I have the X250. You guys can see that. You guys probably, a few of you guys probably have this quadcopter. I'm trying to use quads that you guys probably have. Let's see, I did a lot of things with the Hubsan H501S. So check it out. It's larger than the H501S. So pretty large, hefty quadcopter, but this thing has a ton of torque. It has a lot of torque. The props are pretty large. And so that's it. The Bayang Toys X16 Typhoon. Thanks for watching.